coffee, but I'm having some. And as we check things over, but it's got me frozen for some reason. Let's check it out. Keep trying. Oh, there. Oh. Bad cable. Yeah, we're still streaming. I'm working it out. It's gonna be it's a bad cable. I tried the old cable, which was just USB-C, but you know how those are. And it's through a hub as well, which maybe I should go more direct. This should work fine. This cable is great. It's pretty much brand new USB-C to USB-C direct into this Mac Studio. Greetings. Thursday night. I'm just hanging out. I might put the lapel mic on if it sounds better. Probably sounds like I'm in a bathroom without it. Just do this. Hello. I didn't know what these raids were all about the other day. I was suddenly beset by a bunch of people I didn't know, and I'm like, what's this? I'm a little more prepared. I've been on the other side now. Basically, yeah, sure. If somebody's stream ends and they want to throw their crowd over this way, sure, go for it. I'll answer all the queries and questions, but I'm playing with the, I think this is how we do it. QuickTime Player. New movie recording from USB camera. Nope, not that one. Test long camera. Come on. No, it's not working. I don't want to steal the camera from Brio. There it is. Test long. Maybe it's this hub. It's just being pesky. I don't know if the hub is going through an adapter or direct. It should be direct. I'm not going to start unplugging things though. The audio works fine. So for now, we're good. Yeah, I'm trying to get this old USB microscope working. It used to be I could just open a QuickTime Player and pull it in. But let's quit that and we'll try. Hey, the real Moofat, what's up? Welcome to my little stream. I'm just playing around with, where am I? Face code? Face and code. Playing with commits again, as usual. Getting to the point where I'm gonna maybe finally tag 2094, basically because I'm exhausted. But also because it's pretty much ready. It really is. There's a couple of patches that came in yesterday for Big Tree Tech. So I should pull that in. So let's see. This is bug fix. Check it out. We can just, oh yeah. Welcome to Electron. So yeah, with boofix here, I can pull in that stupid thing that was forgot. Oops. We have a couple oopsies here and there. So let's see, and then, oh yeah, that's the one, and that one as well, probably. And then these all three. These can all go. I think these are all ready. Yeah. I think so. I want this to go with that, and I usually just do this. Keep it simple. And I don't know if that goes with it as well. Yeah, I guess it did. Here's an idea, make it shorter. I know. How are we all doing tonight? I know, let's do some rebasing. I'm trying not to rebase in your face. I'll do a rebasing before I push it, if I can help it. I haven't actually pushed any of the stuff you see here. You see all these up arrows mean they're just waiting and they're in the queue. So we'll get to them. Oops, I don't want to shrink that. I don't even know what that keyboard command does in OBS. Nothing. All right. Yes. The other thing I have is yeah, you can see the back of my desk. But yeah, I have this set up to be able to keep an eye on the boards if I'm boarding. Microscope, which I may have to try in another spot. Hopefully that doesn't mess up anything. Video, audio, we're all good. Oh yeah, we're still good. So yeah, basically, this is the one thing I really wish was on the front of my Mac was a USB, but guess what? I have a very simple adapter that makes it easy to plug the front of your Mac to any device. And then we'll see, maybe QuickTime will like this better. Maybe it won't. Maybe there's something I'm forgetting. Oh, there is actually a button on this I might have to push. See if that is important. QuickTime again. I need microscopes to be able to do science. Ah, that's looking like it. Or is it? Yeah, it's the test long. But it is like really out of focus or something. What's the deal? Let's try taking this off. Just use the thing straight up. Wow. I think the focal length is just maybe further away or something. Wow. Hello. Oh, okay, there we go. This goes really close up. Oh my god. You have to really like sock it right up against the board at this particular focal length. I don't know if there is a... Yeah, oh, yeah, it's up on the other end. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, so look at that circuit board. Nice quality. I don't know if that's just the dust in here or what. Air bubbles. But yeah, it's really up. There's your chip traces right there. Soldered on. Nicely. Sorry for the blur. To get close up, it's nice. But yeah, this is a slightly crap microscope. I mean, I'm tempted to just put it right up against things and then just pull it back slightly. Ooh, birdie. So yeah, I gotta find a way to get a better focal length on it, or some way to have it a little farther away. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh, much better. Wow, the focus on and the resolution on this is pretty good. I need it at this point. Getting old. My vision is getting wonky. Alright, so that's pretty good. I'll just keep it like that. And I guess that means I can put the cap on it and stuff. Very nice. Nice texture you have there. Oh. That is great. Too fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's actually working. That's a good sign. So I'll be playing with that soon. Nope, not with this particular board. Although, you know, with just about every board I get, I'm tempted. I have a couple boards that are prototypes. One that I really would love to be able to use, but the USB is, I think the data and the ground line are reversed, something like that, the white and green wires. So, you know, I can take a couple of pieces of USB cord that I have and alligator clip them together, but, you know, the signal isn't so great. It drops a lot of bits. So, yeah. Where are we at with this? Yeah, I don't see any particular reason to withhold, except are there any very serious issues lingering? I think I might close this one because we did make the README a little bit fancier. Don't want to split it up into multiple pages and turn the go into that for some reason. I kind of like having everything on one page. It's a little more SEO friendly, and it's not a big page anyway. Our README isn't that bad, is it? So anyway, yeah, some of what I've been doing here, face code, is work on string substitution stuff, which isn't a big deal, but for a lot of areas of the Marlin, we have, let's see, what is it? String substitution stuff. Here we are. For a lot of Marlin, we have these strings that we use in the menus, and they're like repeated a lot because there's, you know, one for each axis or whatever. So of course, you know, you want to have strings be substituted in place or whatever. And for different languages, you know, you may have it before, after, in the middle. You don't know. So it's basically it's internationalization stuff. And I'm just trying to make it friendlier for internationalization, and also just so we don't have to make 10 versions of each string every time we have new axes or whatever. It's hopefully it'll save the work in the future, but we'll see. Excuse me. So I've just been doing a little cleanup around that, and so you have something like jumping into the middle of a menu. This is a menu implementation here, the advanced jerk menu, and you know, you've got your start, your end, beginning and end, and you have a back item that goes back to wherever it's supposed to go back to. Maybe you set a flag so it goes back to a different place for a different, depending on where it came from. Then you have if there's junction deviation, blah blah blah. But down here is where I was doing the tweaking. So you're now using, instead of one for each axis and doing some fanciness, I can do a little loop, and I can just pass an index A and fill in the axis, because the way this is defined is it has a little @ sign in it. So that just gets replaced with the axis name, and so for different languages it'll show up in different places in different ways. So that's the general idea. And of course, you know, there's a lot of, you know, every place there's a VB jerk or whatever, I've got to go in and put a VN jerk to finish them off. Kind of like this. VN, oops, N, and then I have to get rid of that. And I guess it's at the end with this one, so I throw it in like that. And that takes care of Chinese, Taiwan. And this takes care of yeah, something like that. But yeah, so that'll get that. And yeah, those are the trickier ones. But yeah, I gotta basically go through in each of these and look for, I don't know, I guess I'll do that. And where I only see one, gotta duplicate or whatever. You know, there's supposed to be UVW as well here. So it's like, you know, these things are getting, obviously it's getting pretty intense when we have to have that many. So if we can eliminate having to have any of these, but I think if I say like, yeah, like some of them are sort of fixed ABC. Maybe the rest don't matter, but at least ABC are kind of fixed for the D-Win screens for Ender 3 and stuff, the V2. So it's a little bit of a, I don't know, it's a little bit of a hassle. But it must be done. So, let's see, yeah. So let's say I was here, yeah. So here it's a little easier because I have an E to work with. Hopefully most will be like that. Hopefully. I don't know what else to call it, VN, because we're never gonna have an N axis anytime soon. Let's hope. Yeah, so this is the kind of thing leading up towards the next release that will be done. But yeah, so little by little I'm plotting through this, but this is obviously not super necessary. There have been some patches applied already, and parts of this are still well, this is all sort of I'm trying to keep it all viable, even if it's not complete. Did I just say N? At. Don't let me do that again. So this is just a casual stream. I haven't really announced this. I'm just hanging out. So limitation add this feature beyond contributors. Time is MCU. Yeah, the way to make submenus to the custom menu config option. Well, yeah, that's like, you know, get into the idea of having maybe an add-on where, you know, when you have a 32-bit board or whatever, you could have a whole different menu system based on some other, you know, more fancy thing where it's a little more extensible or whatever. You have to look at some libraries and take them as examples, I think, at this point. We'll see, but I feel like we're at the point now with 32-bit boards that there's no need to limit ourselves with like what you can do on the 32-bit boards. As long as it's still, you have some option that's sort of buildable for the AVRs, then, you know, make something that's got a few extra features for the 32-bit boards, but also has, it's also big gains what the the others do. Well, like in the case of Marlin UI, the cool thing is I'm sort of fixated on it because it's one menu system to rule them all. It's not the greatest menu system at all, but it works within the AVR kind of idea, and it hasn't really been bested, and so just basically continuing to extend it with little things, you kind of start to see the limitations of that whole process. So I'm trying to break it down where there are these like substitutions and things. It's highly simplified, but yeah, it's like yeah, it's hard to describe. But it's like I look for opportunities for things to be reduced and constrained and consolidated or combined if they're very similar. So, you know, and that's going to be the case for, I mean, like every single one of these things here with an E is going to also get an at. And there's also an EN one, you can see. I almost want to swap these, but I feel like N kind of belongs up with these and E belongs together with the other one, so I don't know. But anyway, either way. Yeah, so any place that there's a thing like this, you know, stray, that's where it's going to also get %, N, driver, at. So you can't use % as a substitution character because that would mess things up. But yeah, like the idea is to have sort of this simplified menu system where each thing is declared in place and that optimizes it through the compiler itself does the optimization. It sees that something isn't used because everything's created on the stack, so it's like it just it has everything is sort of, and therefore ends up being compiled in place as a little mini program that fits into the larger program, and so it's actually able to optimize out pretty much anything that isn't used, and so it's cool to extend it this way, and then eventually I hope get rid of all these, especially these. At least these can probably go away in the case of all of them. But yeah, like there's one in. Like hopefully, that's kind of what I'm aiming at, so I might as well. Like I almost might as well just remove them all. I'll just do a giant search and replace, so it'll be easier, I guess. But I gotta look for like, well, where is that used? Is it used anywhere outside of the language files? Not really, not directly. And you know, is there any case where message v like is used with concatenation or something like that? And in this case, no. There is ABC. Again, ABC are still there. So yeah, I could probably get rid of all those at this point. And just to remind myself, I'll do a few. See, all these are going to be going basically in. And so yeah, these are just for the benefit of the newer display code that hasn't been optimized yet. So everything sort of needs bits and pieces. So there's an API that sort of just hasn't been formalized, and so new stuff comes in and it's like, we're still not on the formalization yet, so I have to deal with that. But that's where we're at. Formalization would be cool to make it all work better together. So really I have to just do this, right? Oops. But anyway, I should finish up what I was doing, which is that bit, I guess. Just finishing up the jerk part. Yeah, see, it says ABC again, so it's like, what? Stry, JK. for me. EA, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I won't go too far with my finagling here. But we'll do that. Just the jerks, just the jerks. This is what I do it for. But this is where the real fun comes in. Okay. Oh, just do a few. There we go. So, next. See, I didn't go too far there. But these, I'm leaving them like haphazardly. Because like, I'll get to them, I will. Just like right now. It is tempting to do them all. Well, that one I did already. Let's see, IJK. Right. Just what you can see. I'm not going to scroll because that would doom me. Look how many languages we've got now. It's crazy. That's why it's taken so long, ultimately. Too many languages. That's all right. There's good diversity here. Diversity. Makes it hard to be ready to go out the front door. What language am I going to be speaking today? Looks like Hungarian. Better get my Hungarian practice on. Let's see, oh, that's a cool looking thing. What's that? Oh, this is Turkish, actually. Yeah, we finally got Swedish. I was holding out for that for a while. I started trying to do it myself, but I got, you know how you do it. You just try and see, okay, that looks about right, but I'll translate it back and see what it says. And usually it's okay, but sometimes you get translations back and you're like, no, I couldn't, that's not right. That's not right. So you try and find words that work better. So it's like, okay, well, maybe run isn't correct. How about execute? Oh, no, that didn't come out right either. So yeah, eventually you figure out something that translates back correctly, and then you cross your fingers and hope that. But then, so that's all just to provoke the real Swedish speakers into like correcting you, of course. Like, look at this horrendous translation somebody put out. I must fix it. So yeah, this being Thursday, I'm not. I guess it's about to be Friday. So here where I am in Austin, so I'm not too urgent about getting everything working. And having a release today. Sometimes I prefer to do them on Fridays or Saturdays, but is that right? Yeah. So I don't mind indulging in a little of this, but yeah, as you can see, it was definitely a little bit rushed. Some of this is a little rushed. That's okay. No, that one seems like it was not vitally extended. Okay, so this one already has some stuff, so I'm not going to jump into them. So okay, yeah, mostly I've touched a lot of these. So these are update strings for substitution again. So I'm just basically bringing in lots of strings and getting rid of others that we don't necessarily need. And eventually I'll get rid of I'll get rid of every instance of VK jerk. IGK. 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 Is there steps? No, I didn't do steps yet. Let's do just to be nice. I'm not going to guess at how that is supposed to be pronounced. It looks like kroku, but I make assumption if I assume it's oo, not o, or ah. Let's see, N, and this one would be N max something. And good. I feel better. Let's see, there's probably that other one down here. There we are, percent. Oh. I hope I get to this one. But yeah, this is aiming to be complete, and hopefully I'll get at least the bug fix parts of it in. It'll be a few more, maybe a couple more days before this is ready. Means I don't really want to put out the release with the bug in display. Currently exists. Yeah, it sucks when you have to rush, but there's bugs and yeah, I can get the bug fix part of that in here, sure. So the one drawback to this, I really want to be able to see the chat at the same time as I'm working, but I can't. It goes away. It's not the right kind of window to get it OBS source code and mess around with it. Oh, look at this. It's just the one. Fine. Be that way then. Oops, I did it again. I'm sure it's the only other time I've done that. Right. So. Offset as well, huh? Look at that. This is used. Hello. Only XYZ, and they are in the D ones, so again. All these extra ones need to be removed. Maybe eventually an N will be. Amazing how much cleaning up you can do when you start looking. I didn't realize all these had kind of crept in, but we tried to just be thorough about everything that had an XYZ would get more axes as things got added, but yeah, naturally that has its limits. Wow, it's amazing how many strings are getting strung. Okay, strings. Let's see how many of these ends are having ats in them. They all do, right? Yes, they do. So many updates to these strings. Yeah, the dollar sign now stands for just insert a string. Move end. So yeah, it would be nice to have something for a float. Maybe I'll get that. Because there's still characters that I could imagine using that we don't really use. Not sure. When I look at the characters, I think we're about done using those. Maybe plus, but no. Backslash pipe? I don't know, something like that. I guess I could do something like that. It's not like every string gets the replacement. It's only strings that are passed through from the menu title, as a menu title, basically. Right now. And that's why it's, that's why there's so many strings, because they are menu titles. Oops, what's this? New string methods. What happened there? Hello. Not doing that right now. I was playing with my MF prep script, right? Okay. Yeah, that's the script I used to do the preparation of releases. I was trying to get it to do a better matching of messages and stuff, and finally I figured out there was a bug. Now it works better, but still doesn't get rid of everything. Still needs a little hand holding. Oh, there it is. I see what I did. I see what I did there. Okay, I just wanted to do this. Thank you. That's all I needed. So, yeah. Let's see, it's actually passing now. That's great. So, let's see how many more strings have we got. Oh my god, so many more. Right. So like that could go away and that could become in steps. I don't think I've even started to use that yet. That was going to be the next thing. Yeah, find it outside of Lang. And oh look, I've already got it in use. Great. I just have to define it. all the languages that need it. And look, most of them have it, or a lot do. That's good. It looks like I pretty much did every place where I got rid of the steps item there. Nice. All right. Yeah, it's the other thing I'll get on the camera soon, which will be more fun, will be, let's see, obviously it's not case steps there, will be the oscilloscope. Get the scope out and start messing around with, will that work? I guess it will. And start messing around with looking at basically mostly stepper pulses for direction and step. Getting those timings fixed up and examining behavior of acceleration, deceleration, junction deviation, things like that in some detail, which will be tricky. There are probably way better people more qualified to analyze things like that than I am, but I figure I should get in there and start looking at it and get my feet wet and make some mistakes and, you know, start just getting comfortable in that space, because didn't go to engineering school, so I didn't really get to handle that equipment. So, like, it kind of intimidates me a little bit. It's like I'm afraid to break it. You know, I'm the person they enter the lab and they're like, "Don't touch that." So now I'm being allowed to touch it. I'm like, okay. I can't believe I'm allowed to break my own equipment now. So we'll have some fun with that, and we'll see what we get out of it. The important thing will be, you know, sort of somewhat regular timing, I think, is what it's about. So, oops, did it again. Yeah, because like there's actually an issue, especially with frequent change of direction or irregular change of direction or irregular stepping that doesn't go, like if you accelerate and decelerate within too short of a frame of time, then trinamic steppers, some of them will go into standstill mode, and that essentially means they shut down. Message move, IJKUVW, yeah, I didn't even know we had that. If we need a message move in, I'll put it in. I think these are for titles. Oh, they're for draw edit screen. Let's see. Oh, looks like someone does have message move. Okay, so if this happens to be in I see, LCD move XYZ, I can pass two parts to that and have it do the right string substitution stuff, then I'm good. Because, yeah, this is basically, yeah, draw this, draw that, so that can be fixed up. And actually, since the axis is already being passed, I don't even need to worry about it. It'll just be a message move N something, so I won't even need the name. So where's name used? Down here. And look at that, it's on draw edit screen. So I think there's probably an option for draw edit screen to take a template and some substitutions. Or I can do the create the string here in place. So I'll do a reminder on myself here. Substitution. This is a hard one to type fast. Substitution. Oh, this came so close. Use substitution here for with what was the one? No, yeah. N. Yeah, I don't want to jump into it right now. But yeah, they all have it. IJK. So I guess I could have gone and done that. Did I get an N yet? No. Hey, get it? Add for axis. Makes sense, right? That should be E. Oh, don't tell me message me E got screwed up in some other places. Oh, it says extrusor. That's fine there. Oh, okay. A diagonal. I didn't recognize it. I didn't recognize yet. All right, so oh, should just be this then. I don't know why they make those special. Should be like that. The other ones are. Am I wrong? Yeah, typically these would be, instead of XYZ, we would change these to ABC, because on a delta they'd be ABC, and then we'd substitute the ABC axis names here, which are X, Y, and Z on most machines, but on some deltas and other weird kinematics, they could be ABC. So it's one of those things that gotta watch for when working on these things. It's again one of those unwritten, so many little unwritten things in the code base that you don't know the details. Like, oh, if I add this, then I must go over here, add this string, I've got to go over here and do this, go over there and do that. It's like any code base, you know, it's just, you get stuck into this, you know what's going on, but no one else does. Oh wait, this can go here. Yeah, just it has its own familiarity, so you have to just kind of dive in and start to find your way around. But yeah, it's like someone like me who's been working on it for a while come along and remind you, oops, you forgot this, you forgot that. So anyway, hey, what do you think of these new racks back here? They're a bit better, right? Starting to get there. Sometime the next 4 days, there's more coming. But yeah, I can give you a quick peek. That's how they are so far. I raised up one on this side to be a little higher, give room for some more underneath. It's about right. I wouldn't want to make it too much higher than that. But there's going to be a third shelf. That's pretty much it. So and I doubled up the shelf in the middle there. The bottom one I don't care too much, but I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10. So I have 4 extra shelves, so I can reinforce 4 of them by doubling up, which will be fun. So yes, that's a tool changer right there, which I actually have inside there. You'll notice there's an octopus board and there's another gigantic big tree tech board that actually is kind of meant to substitute for the board in this one because it has the daughter board and everything. And yeah, that one's going to be hopefully taking out the duet board and putting in an octopus board and developing Marlin to drive this. And that the other good thing about that will be silent steppers uh, drivers on those boards, because right now the DRV 8825s, which are great, super powerful on it, and you want them on a tool changer because it's like, you know, it goes really fast. But hey, imagine it with silent drivers, that'd be pretty cool, right? So I'm going to try and get that working, but it's one of those projects that I just haven't, again, it's a little bit back burner to this release, so that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that, but yeah, it's a bit of work to get that together. So at the moment, I figure I've got space now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 to 10 printers. The other thing I'm working on over in the other far corner, which you can see, is my old Prusa i3, live and well, but getting reconstructed basically with, I haven't decided. I think what I was gonna do is actually just put the old ramps board back in, but with standalone 2209 or 2208 drivers in it, just so I can have it be pretty much exactly as it was, but with silent drivers. But I'm also looking at bodening it because well, I'll show you the extruder that I have for it. If I can untangle my microphone wire a little bit. There we go. Disentangling. That might be enough, or not. Slave to the drive. Slave to the wire. So where is that? Let's see. That's the original. Where is it? Where did I put you? Moving stuff around a lot today. Self. Very okay. Yeah, there we go. So I got a Pancake Motor for it. From basically, it's just hanging around for an E3D, like some skinny extruder that they make, and this is an old Wade, so normally would have a big bulky, you know, stepper on it. This is 11 to 1, I think, or 11 to 40. So I don't know. I can't remember the proportion exactly. But there's a certain number of teeth here, a certain number of teeth there, and that's the proportion. It's meant for 3mm filament, but it actually does work with, I tried it with 1.75 and it does push it, so it's fine because of the way it's constructed. And yeah, it's old school, so I was thinking of just sticking it on top of the Prusa and then having it work like a Bowden. Just have the tube come out the bottom where the nozzle used to be, keep the carriage light, and just have it go down to the carriage, and it'll just. The only drawback I can see there is, you know, I want to have it at some angle, so maybe sideways would work, you know, find some way to mount it sideways on top. Have the filament come in this way and go out, but I would like to have the gear showing, so you can watch it turn. That'll be fun. Yeah, I don't even know what this is called. A Wade extruder with like some. I don't know. I bought it off. Actually, bought this whole thing pre-constructed off eBay, and it's held up extraordinarily well for 8 years or whatever it's been. I didn't use it a lot, but I've replaced the gears a couple times. These particular ones I think might be the originals. But yeah, it's just a old school Wade style extruder with a hobbed bolt, a hobbed hex bolt, just very long. So, you know, it's a big old mess, but it's heavy, somewhat heavy. got the motor weight on it. So I don't know. I thought about maybe just putting it on the carriage and going direct drive with it. Maybe try and use it for TPU or something. But yeah, it's a lot of experimentation to be done. This is really cool though. It came out all right. And I borrowed from this and made something called, I made my own extruder design that I was using for a while. Give you a quick peek at that. And that was called Tweety, and I posted it up on Thingyverse. So if you wanted to try it out, but it requires a motor that you can't get anymore. And actually mine is in need of service because the shaft is loose. And that is this extruder here. This uses the Two Engineers 50-to-1 geared extruder, stepper rather, geared extruder, which has a little gearbox inside, a planetary gearbox. And over here we have, it'd be nice if it was all ringed out in planetary shape, but it's all arrayed in a sort of a vertical style. It's kind of cool. It's like clockwork. But yeah, the shaft itself is not really meant for a side load, so it wasn't built for a side load. And this thing has definitely been getting a lot of side load. So, but I tried to reduce it to the minimum amount of plastic and that you would need to build an extruder. So the amount that you ended up with was this. And then this bottom piece was actually just because the nozzle I had was like, I thought it might have been waggling a bit too much because it's very long. So I was like, oh, I'll just put a reinforcer here, and you can put a strap around it or something. But yeah, all this basically goes into your standard Prusa style carriage, and that has 4 holes in it. It's 2 at 30 millimeters apart, and then 2 other ones at the bottom, a little closer together, with slots or whatever. So yeah, as long as it all, and this all kind of held together, and it did well. It did pretty well. It's got a lot of torque. It's a surprising amount of torque at a 50-to-1 ratio. It's got a lot of torque. This motor here is all right, but yeah, the gearbox itself. There's actually there was a whole page about how to fix the gearbox, and I downloaded that page and I have it stored away somewhere. But it requires a drill press and a small bearing to reinforce the shaft, and it's a bit of work. So if I could get a new motor, but yeah, then I just ruined that one too. So ultimately, the reinforcement makes the motor work better in the long term. But maybe I could come up with some kind of like use the motor, take it out, and use it with a different gearbox. But it's really the way it's built. It's meant to mesh with the gearbox inside, so it doesn't like have its own shaft. But yeah, you can totally see the shaft is really loose. If I had the microscope on it, you could tell. But yeah, it's pretty good. But I was thinking of yeah, basically just setting it up with a Bowden and using this old nozzle, this old piece of crap. But I don't know if you can get this size nozzle anymore for tips. It might be harder to get. So I just go with some standard E3D style, because that's the de facto standard now. So yeah, the tool changer here is gonna get some love. Yeah, I think that might be V5. It's definitely shiny. I don't know if it's a direct. I don't know if it's a clone. It might be a clone, which it's fine as long as it's a good clone. But yeah, the E3D needs some love. Sanjay really went to a lot of trouble to get it to me and make sure I got it in my hands. It's just been a whirlwind of stuff with the 32-bit boards, and just a slew of stuff have been under it. Thanks to especially like so many, just how many hundreds of boards have there been from Big Tree Tech and Creality, and mainly those two, and MakerBase. Those are the big 3. And yeah, they're just like boards piling up. All the support you need for all the chips, but we did need to get support for the chips. We need to support, STM32s of all varieties and all that. So that's important. So let's see where we're at. Did I get all the move Ks yet? No. Let's finish this up. almost done, and I'll get onto that release thing. I really feel like I could do it tonight now. Well, I'll at least get a sense. I feel like there's nothing like we didn't introduce like piles of bugs. We've been very much focused, everybody, on just fixing issues and making sure that everything that is there is, getting more solid all the time. Like, notice I've got one of these here ready to go. I'm not sure what I'll do about decimals. Most of Marlin displays the decimal point as a decimal point. So these little places where they have spots in the menu where it's a comma for internationalization are great, but it would be better if we had internationalization globally. So I feel like 2094 is going to be good, but then I also have 2.1 on deck, and the reason that I hesitate to put out 2094 without 2.1 at the very same time is that the bug fixes coming in are going to be harder to apply. If they're coming in for bug fix, they'll be slightly missing the target. So I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a little weird to get used to. Just moving on to any new version when you have branches the way that I do, it makes it tricky. So I was thinking to have moved the bug fix branch over, but if it just wasn't named like it's named, it would work fine. So maybe I'll just call it bug fix, or I don't know, or dev. Just rename it to dev. Cutting edge nightly, I don't know, something like that. And yeah, I don't even know, something along those lines. But yeah, when they have versions attached, it makes it tricky, because then like every time I do a new version tag, I'm gonna have to change have like a long-term fix branch for that, and then yeah, very tricky, very tricky. But that's one of the things you deal with in versioning world. I don't think 2.0 is gonna be, differentiated a lot from 2.1. The only thing that 2.1 has is the extra axes and some other things added on. And I just really wanted to get that version tagged. So maybe it's just enough to rename our development branch, and that'll be enough. We'll see. Okay, I did enough of that, so let's merge that crap. More string stuff. And let's look at the DAC percent thing. Message DAC percent something. So yeah, it is used with substitution. So here, what I would do is I would use edit item n, and I would pass some axis. I would do a loop num axes, which is a built-in thing, and I would use a. I would do that. Oh, it's using logical axis list, which puts e at the end. Logical axes a. Message DAC percent n, and that's it. Then we don't have to use this map macro. So it just looks like that. And I'll just do this, make a little space. Make some space. Kind of like I did here. And the only reason this is done up ahead at the top is because this, when start and end, is a big loop. So doing this loop inside a loop would just be very bad, silly. So pre-populate this and then do the loop and then exit. Which means every time this is displayed, it's getting the current percentages so that it can display and edit them and stuff. But hey, dig. Oh, and then I don't need this anymore. This will just be A. Okay. So that takes care of that. So I don't need DAX percent anywhere else. Huh? That's cool. That means I can get rid of A, B, C, and E. Just like that. Let's do this. Let's get rid of A, B, C, and E. Return. Replace that with nothing. Does that work? See how many I find. Oh, I didn't find any. Oh, helps if you do that. Oh, there they are. So if I get rid of all these, there, that's a lot less work than all that typing. Hey, it worked. Like magic. Oh, there's an IJK as well. Let's go get those. IJK. About that. Oh yeah, they're gone. Oops, except this one doesn't have an N. Let's see what this says. Any place where it's not DAC per cell is a W as well. Jeez. You. See, any place there's no DAC percent there. DAC percent N. There it is. So, oops. So that one's got it. He's got it. So I should probably mark all the ones that have it. That one has it. That one's good. Oh, that one doesn't. That one's good. Nope. Nope. Yep. 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 Nope. 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 Oh no, there's too many nopes. That's all right. I'll do some undoing. It'll be good. Oops. Let's do strings. Strings. This will be our, menu one, and this will be. Oops. So let's go back. I want to get rid of all except for, I don't know. Let me see what these look like. They all have A, right? So let's keep A. Should I keep E? They all have E. E, 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 E. I see E's. And they all have E's. Okay, so let's keep the E one. There. And then those will just be replaced with. Start with that. Okay, that apparently didn't work so well. What? Oh. I'm doing literal and then I'm not doing literal. Okay, so there aren't too many left, so maybe I can just finish them up. Yeah, save that. Yeah, that's right. Save that. there. And last but certainly not least, cool, that takes care of all that DAC percent nonsense. Okay. DAC percent n is done. Okay, I think we're getting there. Might as well push that and let it go. So, yeah, so for all you developers tuning in, oh, did I miss sharing the screen? Sorry about that. You didn't miss much, but went through this whole process of replacing these various regular expressions. It was hilarious. So this, I think, is ready. This is improving the reliability of homing, sensorless homing, and probing, maybe just probing. Just did a little refactor on that. And I think that can get merged at this point. See who's involved in this whole thing here. All us crazy kids got involved. Improve. I guess we'll go with user experience, I guess, or what? Something like that. Performance sounds good to me. Look, something new got in. So yeah, this particular stuff is bloody boring in a sense. Yeah, raw positions for G34. Probing to honor something. See what raw exposition does. Logical to native. Yeah, this gets a little tricky. Like, you should be able to go. Well, that's the thing, is if you're talking about home offsets, yeah, I'm not going to look at that too closely. But the thing about home offsets is like you're kind of shifting something over like this. I want to use this value for a home offset. I want to go over there and I want to probe at a certain point. Things are defined in terms of some kind of physical position, but then we don't really have that formalized in Marlin. things are defined in terms of positions from the end stops. So if you're defining an offset for an end stop, it's like, well, that then implies there's some physical position. But what makes the end stop inaccurate? Is it that the end stop is inaccurate, or maybe you're just carriage size changed, but the physical limit of the machine may not have changed, or something along those lines. It takes further motion to make the end stop get hit, for example. So when you want to do a probe or something, maybe the probe's in a different position as a result. So you want to be able to reproduce where you want to be as some kind of like higher level, like machine position, based on like, yeah. So I see what David is going for with that, but it's yeah, tricky. Yeah, it's good to have the screen back. Yeah, so where were I? This gets tricky. There's some discussion. It opens up some discussion about what to do about that. How that should be defined. I mean, I can see if you have a certain platform and you know what your machine is like, and you know that there is a certain mounting for your end stops, and then you define your positions in terms of like a measurement with a ruler from the edge where the thing is mounted. And then you define some kind of like width for your end stop, and you make that your home offset. I can see that being something where, okay, that's a machine position. That is a machine position. You actually measured some stuff physically. You input that. There's nothing to do with, adjustments in terms of like just fudges, which is kind of like how home offsets have been thought of in the past. It's like, well, sometimes I use my home, I go to the home, and it seems like on cold days it's 1 millimeter different, so I want to change it on cold days. Okay, fine. But yeah, the idea of having it be very formal in terms of something that is a physical bound offset, yeah, that's a little trickier. And then like it's meant to disappear. Like you home and then it's forgotten. Now your 0 is 0 and it's done, and you throw out the thing. We made it so you could modify with M206 at runtime, and it wouldn't muck up things with your motion. But maybe that's what you wanted. So I don't know. It's very tricky to decide how to approach it. So maybe you need some other kind of like offset, but M206 seems like the simplest thing. So how to approach it is a question. And then it does need to be retained in the sense that like if you've done some home offset, you want to be able to take your current position and say, well, okay, now I know that the probing position where the magnet is or whatever is over here, exactly at this position. So yeah, knowing how much you fudge your end stop size or whatever. I would almost want to call it end stop size just to be like that, just to have it be somehow distinctive from the edge of the like machine or something. I don't know. Absolute 0? Should it be expressed in Kelvin? Kelvin meters? I don't know. Alright. Let's see what's going on in Discord land. Not a lot. Might as well keep that live stream channel open just in case. And now that you mention it, these need to power these up and attach them to the desktop machine. There we go. Where were I? Oh yeah. LCD string sub. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I wanted to look up too. I'll just see. OBS streaming, open source, free music loop. Sure, man. I already have like a looping video I can stick in the background, but I just want a little looping audio. Kind of like break up the monotony. Nothing that'll interfere with the Rolling Stones you're listening to or whatever else it might be. I'm not going to watch this video. Combining VLC, you can add songs to your live stream. Royalty-free music, oh I see. Well, somebody has a link to royalty-free music. I'm just going to look at it over here, so I'm not advertising, doing free advertising for anybody who might be sketchy, who knows. Let's take a look. I'll tell you this, the site is gone. This is a video from recently too. Oh, there we go. Support login FAQ. Music bundle. FAQ. I mean, I've written my own music at times. You can also get these things like music generators. Best free music for OBS. Boo. Here's a full resource list. Maybe I should have just put in Twitch, because, you know. Epidemic Sound, apparently. I guess I'm not telling anybody anything new. You've heard about that one. Own 3D, Envato Elements, Comma Music, Artlist. Naturally, all these things want to sell their stuff, which I understand. But I just kind of wanted to find a cool loop that I could just borrow and have it go in the background. Got a lot of stuff. Check out Epidemic Sound. Okay. I accept your cookies. They have free trials. They have high quality music. They do like a per month, $9 a month thing. Cool. I like to support things like that. However, I also like to just find free stuff. I don't know, I'll look at it later, but thought it would make it less monotonous. Just me here, not much going on. Play some stuff in the background, but it's almost guaranteed to be something that would be copyrighted. So yeah, cleaning up. So yeah, this is the workhorse. We have these functions, the template stuff. So I was trying to get those standardized. And I started out with a big mess, and it took me I spent basically a whole day just doing all this stuff where I was lost and not knowing what I hadn't done or had done. Finally, I just went back and methodically approached it and redid everything to the point where I knew where everything was. A few things got renamed. I put const on a lot of things. I did a lot of string stuff. right place? Am I still looking at the right thing? Oh, I'm looking at something else. Do we? What do you know? It's already done. Or is it? Is this me? Hey. Yep. All the strings. All the strings. I forgot about baby step. Let's see how many baby steps we got here. XYZ total. Yeah, it looks like they're, again, just very specific. Now I could do a thing where I say message baby step. And this like that. And they all have the same string, but different little indexes. So that gets rid of, well, I don't think I've gotten rid of them completely yet. Still have this deal where it will go there with a title attached to it, but I see. I'll probably just have to do some kind of string making. Oh yeah, here we are again, yes. Another to do. To do. Place. That's how it plays out, right? Oh, that's his baby step, right? We'll get there. So not quite yet, but I'd love to get rid of all those too. Oops. There's one there, yeah. So I'll finish those eventually. But they will all eventually be replaced. It's true. Oh gosh, this is so annoying. I just want to replace them all now with just a big old regular expression. because my keyboard is small. Ooh, look at these. X, Y, Z. I don't remember these being still alive, old friend. Apparently they are. And again. And offset, I know. Do this. How about that? Yep, they still exist. Start here with this. Sometimes it'll say ABC offset. I don't know if that'll be good. I don't know. I might be going a little too far with that particular one now that I'm stuck with it. Baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step. Let's skip this one for now, just because, and then we'll do these. Right. And you want strings. Right. So, sure. Anyways. And it's still scattered. Still scattered, you know, if I just look for, what was it, string K in the language files. I'll find everything I need. I wonder if I did this one yet. Yep. Just checking. I see space. I see a space. No baby step in for you yet. Yep, good. That was a good fix. Huh. Then what? Backlash K? Sure. Guess these are part of some funky menu area that I should look at later. Or are they? I don't know. Let me take a look. There it is. Cool. Well, that should take care of some things. It's just the axis, apparently. That's funny. Okay, if that's what you want. Here we are. Okay. Okay. Do it again. There's a Q. It's a strange Freudian slip or something, because why the Q? Of all characters, I would think the W would be more likely to get hit. There it is again. Okay, two more. Message K. And that doesn't need to be there, so there. Wow. I'm addicted. Addicted to the letter Q. Yep. Still have to rely on, we still have the D-Win stuff to catch up to. Only it was all in compliance, but it's not. It's not. It is not. Let's see. E steps. Hey, it's Croaky. Good old Croaky. I see again. I see a space. All right, we have only got a few languages left. That's good. It's good to be almost done. Just with this. How much does this count towards the release? Hey, not at all. But it's 1 a.m. This is really if I go to sleep and immediately after a release, it's a stupid idea. The best thing to do is to do it early in the morning, so I have a whole day to get feedback. And by the end of the day, it'll be cleaned up, and we'll have a somewhat something stable-ish release without any terrible typos and bugs and egregious things wrong with it. The main thing is I gotta make sure all the configs sync up with them, and that was one of the trickier parts. I think they're there, but I just gotta double check all that and go through the whole process of really just making double sure that everything is as it should be. Yeah, it's keeping pretty good hours. I binged the latest Stranger Things yesterday, so I was like, I'll just watch one before I go to bed. I was like, oh man, this is pretty good. It's like, it's got some good horror elements to it this time around. I'm liking it, but you know, it's also very, very quippy, goofy. You know, like okay, it's meant to be fun, not taken too seriously, of course. Ooh, except for it is, of course. All right, almost there. Can you tell I'm tired? Yeah, I'll be getting to bed soon. But had good energy today. I was really pleased. I think the weather helped a lot, and maybe it's the something good in the air. And I think that's it. We just got to do these. Got the N already there. Hey, I hit the right key that time. Look at that. Catching up to myself. Oops. I used to do it the other way around. And that is that. Yay! Alright, so yeah, this actually comes up in some places. but the idea is to avoid having to use it in too many places. So G28K. Yep, these are good. And I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. List and extruders, okay. Update extruders. Yeah, I can see that being done differently, but whatever. I'll leave it alone for now. The idea is to keep things so we don't have to keep. We want to add one more extruder. I don't have to go everywhere and try and fix that. You know, it's annoying. But yeah, okay. So K basically gives us an idea of where things are utilized axis-wise, and that's just for debugging anyway. Okay, good. All strings except for this and this. And these are the menus that got fixed up, or some other things. Menus, and this is just, I have a miscellaneous just in case. They all come with a miscellaneous commit somewhere, I think. Yes. Menu strings and menus. Okay, good. Alright, that's about as simple as I can get my PR to be. Pull request. I do sometimes do pull requests instead of just pushing straight into Marlin. It's nicer generally to be able to trace back to stuff, and it's easier to comment on. Like finding a comment on a commit is a little annoying sometimes. It's like, oh, there's a comment on a commit, which I totally missed. There we go. Yawn. Yeah, and then these have string substitution items. Basically meant I had to go through all the menus and add yet another set of bloody macros that call other macros and do the right thing, hopefully. They all go back to two master macros, which I added up here. And they got a lowercase f in them because I didn't want to sacrifice the letter F. I want to use the letter F. But yeah, in this case it means a little F substitution. And the N, I could make that lowercase, but that would be pushing things. Now you're getting crazy, son. But it definitely gives you the I don't know, it would give you the clue that those are substitution items instead of, I don't know, semantics, right? It's either consistency or simplicity or fewer changes just to keep things simple, nicer. You don't want to make a gazillion changes at once. He said as he made a gazillion changes at once. Let's do this though. I've already reviewed these in my own universe, so I don't necessarily need to re-review them here. There's a method to my backwards madness here. There we go. Okay, now I can mark them all viewed more quickly. Mark all viewed would be a nice addition to this page, GitHub, if you're out there watching my stream or a replay of it. So yeah, I've definitely looked at them all. So, oh, now I've got bug. Introduced a bug. What did I do? see, it says here that this is bad. So let's see what we got. Oops, there is no sub. Oh, there it is. End label dest, and there is a get text F on it. And other places I've used it. Here's one. J, and then I do the thing, and so, okay, so what's the complaint? It says in expansion. Message baby step M is not a member. Oh, okay. There's our problem. There's your problem. First thing, get rid of them all. Seems counterintuitive, but it makes, you'll see, you'll see. So let's see, yeah, there they all are. There's only 4. And now I want to find Z. So there's a Z. Let's see, we want that, we want to keep that. Oh, we want everything in between the quotes, I guess. Mm-hmm. 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 All right, I think I got it. So let's just try it on one. See if it works. Yep, that works. All right. Let's see if the magic works. gotta do this first. Alright, you're all gone. Remove. Replace. I love regular expressions when they work. Hey, there we go. So I don't know, was that quicker than doing each one by hand? Certainly less tedious in a way. Just figure out that right expression. Be careful. Don't fall asleep in the middle of doing it. Sometimes I tell you, it's like, oh no, I know this is going to take me a minute, 2 minutes. Just deal. Okay. So yeah, that was the one problem, is that baby step n just didn't exist. So now it does. In all the languages, including English. Look, they're all apparently at the end, as it turned out. I didn't realize that was going to be the case. But yep, every single one. So baby step X is then left with just the screens that don't have substitution yet, I guess. Oh wait, no, this one. Right, so here I can actually, I could do the right thing and get that working. Axis. See if this will work. So it is an F message, and it is using a draw edit screen. Yeah, so that's the one thing, is I need to draw edit screen that has substitution in it. Which I thought I did, maybe. And now it's got a value, so you can have a template and a value, as it were. I don't know, is it really a template? Because it doesn't have like substitutions in it, so. You know, how about this one? It's got a style, it's got a v-string, but it doesn't like really do substitution, does it? Oh, it does. This one does. Oh, this is just for menu item, that's why. So the menu items do have templates, yeah. Okay, so onward. So yeah, I just basically have to do an edit screen with that, and then, I don't know, I guess does that mean I'll have to do several versions of it? Because that would be boring. But it looks like I would have to do something, because every single one would have to have substitution. How boring. Then we have add text. I don't know, I almost don't want to bother. So yeah, it's the other screens aren't Marlin UI, so I almost want to like take stuff that's Marlin UI and take the language and separate it out. But it's kind of nice to have language in all one place so we can share strings, but sometimes they get missed, but that's one thing that helps actually. So yeah, so I've got the one with N on it, but I also have these which makes it pointless to have the one with N on it at all. It's because it's gonna have to come here anyway, you know? Am I right? Yeah, like there's the ends right there, and then they're just gonna print the message that's whatever. But how is it being printed? Because apparently it's at the end on all of them, as we discovered. So since it is on the end, maybe we can just say baby step blah, and fine. Yeah, currently the way it's doing menu item substitution is it does a draw, and yeah, the other screens have like a string class as an intermediary, so that's one string, okay. But but this one is all built in to the menu class instead. So it'd be kind of nice maybe to grab that intermediary and pull that part out. And then we can both use it. And I can use it in this baby step display method here, which is the baby step screen basically. It's all for the title. So I believe, yeah, draw edit screen with a message. So yeah, very straightforward. So draw edit screen with a C string on it? No. Because it makes sense. One with just a value, I see. It's interesting. And an edit label. Okay, good enough. Alright, he knows everything he needs to know now. Alright, new pull requests, anything fascinating? Not really. Been starting to work on a framework for tests, which isn't really a framework. It would just call some things at the start and then periodically. It would build this C++ file here. And then this could call all the tests throughout Marlin. Then you could even have subfolders in this folder for your tests, I guess, basically. So if you wanted to test filament runout sensor or whatever, you might have a subfolder with a bunch of tests, or just something called runout tests or .cpp, and it would run it. But yeah, that's the idea. Is anything in here, it'll just get its tests, and yeah, I guess the tests could be inside of each module. Kind of that was the idea too. Is like each one would have its own tests. Yeah, it produces its own report basically. And yeah, you could do some crazy things. You could have it check to make sure that the math works or whatever. It's that kind of thing. You want to be able to test things without having to run a print. You know, just want to make sure your functions actually function the way they're meant to. So with this being the case, it's interesting. This one looks like I modified it. Let's do a rebase on it. Manage media for slowly. Okay. So whatever is already in the head. That's what I should leave alone. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Guess nothing's much has changed. Just push that. There we go. All looks good to me. Yep. Yeah, it would probably end up being pretty fat. Although you could do certain things, like if you're doing a test build, you could have it also dump certain code, I imagine. That'd be interesting. All right, let's put that window away. And that one away. And let's get back to the last minute bits of the release. So we're looking at 20x branch here. Oh yeah, there was, yeah, I'd like to do that quick fix without having to patch the entire thing, but I'll get into it tomorrow. So at this point we have 20x, and what I typically do now is I do a git checkout, tag it. Rebase what I got on that. Right, and then tag this. So it's ready to go. I've been doing this a few times, so now I have a tag on there and a tag on there. The only thing I need to do is just put a date on it. So right now it's dated whatever it is, 2/6/2, so it's 6/3 here now, so I guess I'll be updating the date. Update the date. And these aren't there, or are they? I should check carefully. Yeah, what's up with these files? I think I'm supposed, this is meant to be close to bug fix, so I just do a comparison. And then I see what I'm missing so far, and it looks like these don't matter. These variants are not in bug fix, so these should all be removed, basically. Weird, man. And there's a new thing over at sensorless. Homing improvement. Oh, I haven't moved that over yet. Yeah, let's get that over. I forgot about that one. Changes. We'll figure this changes. All this will changes deal out soon. Yeah, so we got this one. No. Guess I can't come over to too new. Too new. Alright, what's left? 11 files that are different. This variant has been moved somehow, somewhere. And G60 has changed. Yeah, G60 got fixed too. Let's check that G60 fix, yo. I remember that. I remember that one. Where is it? There you are. I wonder if that can actually, let's undo that. I wonder if that can go to 2.0, maybe. Oh, stop that. I really gotta figure out what's up with that. G 2.0? Not quite. Let's see why. I see. Double linear axes. Here it's num axes. Just PGM, huh? see, it's already got that. Oh, I guess I'll just do this too. Might as well. And then that goes up to K, which is all we want for that particular version of it. There. Voila. It's not the same, I know, but it is. So I actually have to go and pick it separately from here for 2-1. Just to keep it simple, rather than try to rebase them on each other. But I'm still going to do the rebase now. That's going to create the fun. The slight fun. Here we go. Get checkout 2, tag. Yes, more rebase fun. Support for up to 9 axes. Okay, so as I add support for 9 axes, this ends up becoming first. This ends up becoming second. And this gets that, like so. I think that pretty much ends up being what we got. Those curly braces there are really just for the syntax parser of my editor to be able to, it just says, oh well, sees that second curly brace and says, well, I'm going to forget that there were strange things going on. So then you see then this actually just fixes this because it's supposed to be X. Whoops. So this should be part of the 9-axis fix actually down here. Could put it right here. Yeah, like that. Like that there. Now it's all taggy and ready to go. So yeah, this could be, again, this could happen a lot sooner. This could be like down here. Get pushed today. Oh wait, or is it? Nope, because these two things. Gosh darn it. I have to check what's going on with this big TreeTech SKR3 thing because it's messing me up. All right, let's see. Let's put this in now. Ow. I think it's like 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh my goodness, 23. Can it be 209 for you? Oh, it'd be so nice, wouldn't it? Soon, pretty soon. Hey, thanks for stopping by, crashing people. I know it makes sense to crash at such hours. I have a tiny bit of coffee left. I'm just gonna enjoy. For the flavor mostly. And then I'm gonna kick off the stream, watch a couple more episodes of Stranger Things, and crash out early tonight. But first thing I want to do is check out what is up with those particular files and why does one have them and the other doesn't. I mean, I can obviously go diff head. And if I look at 2.1x, I mean, what point would I want to go to? I mean, maybe here? Oh, look, it's adding 2 more files. That's peculiar. I gotta see what's up with that. Let me go to bug fix. We got SKRV3. Oh, it changed it did a rename. Forgot that part. And was that it? There was one other that followed up, but I think that was this one here. It's already been in there. So if I move it up, for example, to here, it should show up empty. Yeah, it does. Undo, it's empty, blah. Huh, okay, so yeah, this somehow got missed. So that's got to get mixed in. Oops, and that number's already in there. Somehow it got missed. I don't know what's going on with that. Blah, all mixed together. Somehow they all blend together and it'll all work. All right, let's do that diff. Oops, those are still there again. What's going on? I got an idea. Somehow I think this will not affect anything else, so if I just simply remove it, that should do the trick, right? Yay! Oh, it looks like it. 2.0. Yeah, okay, we're back to normal. We're all good. So now if I compare this 2.1 with bug fix, I should be in better shape. Only 6 changes now, and those are all related to version and other things. Oh, wait, what's this one? What's this from? Fix a const warning. It must be way down here somewhere. I don't know, got lost in the pile. There it is. That looks right to me, I think. Like it already exists, maybe. It already exists here too. That's strange. Okay, just being peculiar. Oh, it's reverting. Oh, that's strange. Okay, I guess maybe it isn't in bug fix. It's going the other way around. I would think it would be here, but then not in. It's weird. Well, what if I do this and I drag it over to bug fix? Huh? Again, it's like, what? Oh. And bug fix will take it? What? Oh, that's strange. So when did this happen? It's been changed a few times apparently. Peculiar. Always try and track things down. Oh, I see. It was meant to happen then. Differently. Okay. I will just take this here, copy. Okay. Yeah, I guess I must have patched it in 2x when I meant to patch it in bug fix at some point. Alright, well, I'm at a good starting point for tomorrow. I'm gonna go look at the issues and start getting an early start. And we'll try and push through a release by, I don't know, mid-afternoon or something. Then I'll have the whole weekend to mess around with it. And I'll have my rack, hopefully parts of my rack, maybe by the weekend. Probably more like Monday, but I'll print some things. It'll be fun. I gotta install the latest Marlin on, a couple of machines and just put it through its paces. And I was having a really good time getting the leveling sorted out on one of these machines, just making sure cables weren't tugging, and that was giving me good results. So, hey, new software can only be that much better, right? All right, so yeah, till tomorrow.